Evening, everybody. Having a nice meal? Yes. Very, very nice. Me too. This is the poshest do I've ever been to in my life, I must admit. And I haven't got a white tie, so I feel a bit out of it. Right, I'll try and briefly tell you my journey and how I came to know Fergus. Like I said before, I served in the Royal Engineers for 12 years. I joined the army as a young lad at 16-year-old, straight out of school. And I trained as a combat engineer, which is a guy who builds bridges and lays minefields, blows bridges up, all that fun stuff that young lads like to do. But I ended up working in counter-terrorism, working with the high-risk search teams, looking for improvised explosive devices out in Northern Ireland. I did 2 6-month tours out there and took part in over 100 clearance operations on both tours. I also served in Bosnia in the Royal Engineers Bomb Disposal Teams, which are specialist teams within the Royal Engineers. And I was there clearing mines and general unexploded ordnance that people were walking up and handing to young kids with mortars. Here's a bomb, do you want to clear this for me? So that was an exciting time. And over the 12 years I witnessed and was part of 4 major traumas. The first one, when I was 18, I saw 6 soldiers blown up in a vehicle, and I was first on scene, and we were the team who had to clear up the mess. I was 18. I had, on the second tour, I had an improvised explosive device partially explode under my feet as we were searching for it on a ship, and I was only 20 when that happened. And I was injured in Bosnia. We were actually clearing a front garden that had been mined, and a young lad had gone back to his front garden, stood on it, got killed, and the family wanted the body back, so we had to go in and get him out. But we climbed over a roof and the whole team fell, and I ended up tearing all the soft tissues in my spine. So we had to then clear ourselves out of the mined garden, which was also quite a bit of a trauma. About a week later, I was detailed to travel with explosives around the country, dropping it off so the guys could do the work. And I was surrounded by some militia and had a gun put to my head. So this psychologically broke me, and that was it for me. I was flown back to the UK, a completely different person, and I could no longer cope as a soldier. I was medically discharged with a spinal injury due to my fall, and I was later diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. My life fell apart. I ended up divorced within 18 months, and it culminated in an attempted suicide in 2001. Those were very dark times. I couldn't hold on to a job. I kept breaking down due to my flashbacks and anxiety problems. I was talking to a friend at the table there. I couldn't drive in the city because of on my tours there was a high risk of capture, so that stayed with me when I left the military. So driving in the city was a problem. So if you can't drive in the city, you can't get a job. But in January 2012, it changed from doom and gloom to a lot of happiness. I attended a program called Dare to Live, which uses horses to do psychological work with soldiers and help with post-traumatic stress. And it was there that I learned that I had a knack for horse whispering, would you believe it? So this 3-day course set me up mentally so that I could go back to employment. And in order to do so, I needed that help. And this is where Walking with the Wounded and Fergus stepped in. They funded my training for a year to become the operations manager of Dare to Live now. And not only that, I'm also studying a degree in equine facilitated human development. Basically that's working with horses to help people. Very, very clever stuff. And it's the help from Walking with the Wounded that's actually given me a job. Most service people are lost when they leave the military. It's like losing their family. And they lose their pride. And if they're injured or have post-traumatic stress, they lose everything about them that made them so good in the first place. And most of the time, just giving them a job is all they need to get back on their feet. And thankfully, to walking with the wounded's generosity, and you guys, I am now the ops manager. I'm doing a degree. Life is bloody good.